Good morning, everybody. This is Miss Burgess. Excited to see you again, and thanks for coming to watch this video. I'm going to take you through reminders for what you guys need to do for things that are due Monday. I have some shout outs for people who have passed in their one-pagers. Then I'm going to teach you about Google Calendar. I know that during this time you're getting like a million emails from all your teachers about calendar invites, etc., and I want to show you what you can do with your calendar to really organize your time. Then we'll just end with some fun facts and some suggestions for streaming. Wanted to first show you a little bit about where I am. This is a picture of a park where my sister and I went for a walk during sunset a little while ago. It's gorgeous, and I feel really lucky to be near the ocean. It's definitely where I feel like the most calm. But it snowed last night, so things have changed a little bit. It's crazy. It snowed so much that we had a branch fall down from our tree in front of our house. Pray for me that it melts really soon. Okay. So this week we had our first lesson just talking about annotation, expectations. Remember to go back and look at that document to remind yourself. We had our first office hours. Thank you to all of you who came. It was great to see you. Today, we're just reminding what you need to do. The only thing that has changed is that I'm going to ask you to join our Remind. I think about 20 of you have already done that from me posting it yesterday, so that's awesome. And then just a reminder, next week we will have a live teach on Friday, and that is the only mandatory office hours that we've had so far. So please plan to join us during that time. I will send a couple of calendar invites and talk about that a little bit later. Here are reminders of expectations throughout the week. I think we pretty much know all of that, but you can review that right now. Okay, so remind. If you have Miss Aguilar, then you probably already know this and everything. But in case you haven't, there are two different ways that you can join. I hope that this will make it easier and help remind you what you need to do for class. It's also a really easy way for us to chat. So anytime you have a question, jump on your phone, text through that. So if you have a smartphone, you're just going to go into your web browser and you're going to type that in, RMD, like remind.at/Beulah page. Fill in your name and your phone number, and then you'll be all set up. If for some reason you don't have a smartphone, you're just going to text that instead. Okay, so review again. The things that are due is to complete Arrive. And then for English 3, you're going to finish part 3 of In Cold Blood, pages 160 to 248. English 4, you're going to read to page 188 in Handmaid's Tale. You're going to upload a video of your annotations for the grade. Then you're going to complete the one-pager creative assignment, and you're going to upload a picture of that and put it on Classroom so that we can see it. And then joining Remind, as I just said. So reminders, here's Arrive, an exemplar. 1 and 2 are journal entries about whatever. 3 and 4 are prompts about the book. So make sure that you do that for those. When you are done, you're going to upload everything to Google Classroom. Seems like the easiest way students have seen is to upload your video first to Google Drive, and then you can, from there, upload it to Classroom. With the picture, I think you can just do the same, or you could email it to yourself and then do that. So speaking of the one-pager, wanted us to look at some student examples. Here are some reminders. You can choose to do a one-pager about any text that we've read so far. It is preferred that you do one about In Cold Blood for 11th and Handmaid's Tale for 12th, but if you really don't want to do that, that's fine. Here's a slide that reminds you what you have to have in there. You can look back at that on your own. Wanted to first show some students' examples. So this is one for In Cold Blood. Really love the way that the outline is pretty easy to follow, and so you could mimic that style. Really well done. Here's another one that was done about Oscar Wilde. And so the student decided to highlight the character of Lola. And I really love the depiction here because you can see so many elements of her personality and like the pain that she was going through. Similarly, really cool structure. Here's another one for In Cold Blood. I really love this background that they decided to use. The eyes really pull you in, and then you can follow sort of the rest of the shapes, which takes you through the different elements. Here's another one. I really like the use of underlining here. Someone who like needs lines a lot myself. That's really helpful to just make sure that you're staying really like uniform throughout. And then the little images here are really, really great. And then this one here, I really like the font choice for the blood and the way that the different images are spread across the page. And also, like this sideways work is really cool. Wanted to point out the scholar did it on notebook paper, which is totally fine. If you have notebook paper, use that or whatever paper you can find at home. So then the last thing that I wanted to show you guys today is how to use Google Calendar. Google Calendar is one of the ways that you can organize your life. I use it both for my professional and my personal things. If you're more of a paper person, do it up, figure out what system works for you, and we will probably show you some examples of that. The big thing, though, that will be helpful about this electronic is the way that it connects to your Zoom meetings with your teachers. So what you see here is a screenshot of my Google Calendar. What I like to do is color code based on personal and professional. So right now, the darker blocks of time are more personal reminders for me. If I don't have them blocked off that way, I might forget. And I do think it's really important that we figure out like what works for us, especially during this time. So you can see I have my lunch break blocked off. Sometimes during that lunch break, I'm on Netflix, making myself some lunch, I'm listening to podcasts, whatever, just like a little break from my day. Similarly, I have some reminders for me to run, and then dinner that I feel like is like important to plan out. Sometimes I have like other social plans that I'm going to be doing. Yeah. So then you can see that I have blocked off time to try to remind myself of what my duties are and expectations. So lesson planning, I have time set aside for that. I also, have time set across for grading as well. Then from there, you can see my office hours are all listed here. So it will be easy for me to just click into those and then join those meetings. So anytime I'm joining a Zoom meeting, I am going into my calendar first and then clicking from there. And then the last thing that I learned in a professional development session is right here on the left. So every Sunday, I have this like one list there in the dark like gray. And then in front of it, I add the items that I need to do for my to-do list. So if I open up my calendar and I show you, that was for next week. If I finish planning lesson 6, 7, and 8, I will just delete it to show me that that's not an action step anymore. Similarly, I have the personal goal. So I want to run 2 times next week. You can see I do have that scheduled. And if I hit it, I will delete it. If I don't, I will have it for next week. So here's a calendar that's a little bit more blank. So I'm going to go back. I can change the color here with a right click. I do want that one to be this color. And then I can add my events. Wave to students. What up, you guys? Great. That's now in my calendar. So again, when I'm going to be joining Zoom, I'm going to click on this. It's going to show me to join the Zoom meeting. It'll have the meeting ID. And I believe for you guys, the password will also show up here. I don't need a password because it's my own meeting, but you'll see it there. You could copy it and paste it when you get into the meeting. So that is Google Calendar. If you feel like you're doing a great job using Calendar, would love for you to send a screenshot for me. That will be extra credit. And so we can look at that. Some people like to be a lot more like colorful with their calendars, and that's definitely an option for you guys as well. So last but not least, I have some blast from the past for you. My mom gave me a folder with all this stuff from when I was in high school and college. And so we'll be providing you with some potentially comedic relief. But this is my senior photo from college. Look a little bit different, a lot the same, but just wanted to share. And then we have some streaming suggestions coming to you from me, Miss Buck, and Mr. Peary. If you have Hulu, suggest the movie Parasite, and that's my dad in the background. He says hello. And the show Rami on Hulu is really amazing as well. On Netflix, we have Glow Up, which is a makeup competition. It's really interesting, even if you're not super into makeup. And then Schitt's Creek, which is a hilarious show. And then on Spotify, I've been listening to the Booksmart soundtrack. Booksmart is also an amazing movie, but the soundtrack is really great. So here's reminders of what you need to do. Everything that is due on Monday. So we will be starting to grade that stuff on Monday. If for some reason you need an extension, you need to reach out to us and you need to send a really professional email to request that you have an extension. Hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend, and look forward to seeing you guys in office hours. So bye for now.